Greetings, Tetris citizens. We're back with more stupid Tetris Monthly. July 2025. It's the no next box edition of what we're hoping becomes a more or less monthly tournament with a bunch of rotating, challenging modes of NES Tetris. And what we've got for you right now is a top 16 bracket. And it's going to be the one in the bottom right-hand corner. It's going to be Fractal versus Steel. Steel, a newcomer, long-time chatter, first-time player. So Fractal versus Steel. And then Dillan answered a question versus Peak. And then the winners of those two matches will play against one another to determine who goes into the semifinals. We've already got one semifinalist determined, and that is Dog Playing Tetris, who defeated someone. Somebody. Wait, why is this happening again? This should not be happening again. I don't know why this is happening again. Who did Dog defeated Hydrant Dude in the round of 16, and then Miles in the top 8, and is now here sitting, waiting as a semi-finalist for more opponents. And we're about to determine another opponent that will go into that little red square right there. And then as far as other streams we've got coming up, we do have a purple round 1 that is going to be on Monday. That's going to be Chroma, Draco, and Rorschach. And there might be one follow-up match after that, possibly. It kind of depends. And then on the following day, it's going to be the green and teal top 16. It's going to be Pixelandy versus Ghost, another first-time player, Jerpy, former No Next Box world record holder, Cobra. So that is what is coming up. But right now, it's going to be, Fractal, Steel, Dillan, and Peak. Let's take a look at our rules. This is a 32-player single elimination flat bracket tournament based on the 1989 version of Tetris released by Nintendo for the Nintendo Entertainment System on NTSC consoles. Players can play on emulator or console so long as the game mechanic experience and statistics are unmodified. They can use any controller so long as there's no big buttons or turbo functions used, whether electronical or mechanical, biological, turbo only. We will be starting on level 9 every time. Players, we need your next piece preview to be off when the match game starts, when the actual real match starts. So the best way to do that is to play a garbage game before the match, turn off your next box during that with the select key, And then don't like rage quit out of the game. Don't select start AB. Don't do that. If you do that, it's going to turn the next box back on. So you just have to naturally let the game top out, right? A natural top out, if you will. And then, you know, just don't turn it back on, right? So level 9 starts. Next piece preview is off, and no same piece sets. We are not going to be using same piece sets. That's to prevent players from kind of stealing the next piece from the other screen, which some people say is not possible. I feel like it is possible. Okay, so players, remember, no in-game advice. Nobody on your in your ear, in your room, or whatever telling you about you or your opponent's board state or anything like that. And if you do experience tech issues, do keep playing. I will sort it out. Okay, just assume that it's going to keep going, and I will sort it out and make a decision. And do not pause unless I tell you to, okay? The winner gets absolutely something, and that is a share in a prize pool that has gotten up to $1,050. We have met our top 8 goal. Big contribution from Scott Gray got us there, so thank you so much, Scott Gray, and everybody else who has contributed to this stupid prize pool. Now, it's not done. It's not closed. If you want to contribute to this prize pool and be like, hey, I want to support these players, I think this prize pool should be bigger, well, you are invited to continue contributing to the prize pool. Use the Matcherino command while you're watching live on Twitch or YouTube. That'll bring up the link. It should say STM or STMNNB or no next box, whatever. Click on that link. It'll take you to the landing page for this prize tournament with our prize pool partner, Matcherino. Top right hand corner where it says log in is where you log in, and when you click on that, you can log in with your existing Twitch or YouTube account. No need to make a separate account. Once you're logged in, click the mustard colored button that says contribute to contribute. And remember, this is 100% fan funded. There are no sponsors. There's no it doesn't come out of my $1 billion trust fund or anything like that. It's you guys. You guys are the sponsors. So you can go to go.ctm.gg/prize after the fact to contribute from there if you're watching this on YouTube. All right, that's how to support the players. To support the channel, a lot of different ways to do that. You can use super chats or stickers or channel memberships or gift a channel membership over on YouTube. Use bits and subs and gift subs and Amazon Prime, Twitch Prime Gaming subs over on Twitch. You can also go to patreon.com/monthly Tetris, make an ongoing pledge of monthly support. Make sure that this channel continues so we can continue to bring you these great events, or at least these okay events, whatever. So thanks to Scott Gray, JK9, Tacky Corporal, Shelby, Troydan, Kim M, Rogue Potato, Cat Kid, Mila, and Jason, as well as everybody else on this slide for helping to keep all this going. Let me see. Do we have 2 players? God, I hope so. Oh, we've got 1 player warming up. And hopefully we've got another player. So let me refresh both of these, and hopefully we have found another player. There he is. All right, we'll line him up. It seems like this is real Fractal, huh? This is not AI generated Fractal. Someday someone's gonna enter a tournament and put an AI generated live Tetris game. It's gonna happen. All right, live Fractal live. Wait, you just got a PB 509? You just got a PB. Literally, Fractal got a PB 509. What was your qualifier? Hold on. Holy mackerel. Is that your first 500K? Holy crap. Yeah, 498 was your qualifier. 498 was your top score, 439 second score, 469 average. So first 500. So Steel, yeah, you better look out. Steel just got... Why can I hear myself? That's not good. There you go. I gotta close that. All right. Yeah, so Fractal just PB'd Steel. All right, Steel's trying on level 18. So Fractal's got to be feeling good. I mean, except for the fact that he has to play this horrible mode. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, NTSC. Fractal doesn't want to play NTSC anymore. Fractal on what? The are you still really, was that like, is that you really doing that? The PAL DAS color grind? Is that real? Is you really gonna keep doing that? Is he really gonna keep doing that? It's insane. All right, Steel warming up on 18. Ravioli says, this may sound bad, but today I got my first transition from 18 start into 19, and I got to level 23. Congratulations. Fractal says, it is the most excitement I felt about this game in quite some time. Now, hopefully Blue Scooty does not have a PAL console, Fractal. Have you, oh, wow. I'm trying to keep Blue Scooty busy with like other tournaments while Fractal sneakily goes and gets colors on PAL. All right, players, when you are ready, let us get... Oh, did you get a Tetris on 19 on Xbox? That's crazy. All right, players, when you're ready, go to the level select screen. Remember, we are not using same piece sets, so you just got to go to the level select screen and signal ready, and we can start. All right, and let's make sure that you're both on Tetris. You are. Tetris, Tetris, Tetris. There it is. This is not round 2. This is top 16, right? There it is. All right, looks like we are ready to go. Stupid Tetris Monthly, no next box edition, July 2025. This is a top 16 match between Fractal and Steel. Strogs has contributed 32-33 to the prize pool. So thank you, Strog. I'm just going to say Strog and hope that's okay. But thank you so much for the contribution to the prize pool. Looks like both players are ready. Let us get them started in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Steel says, good luck, have fun, honored to play you, Fractal. Well, we are playing with no, go ahead, Fractal, you can just start over. That's fine, just start. There you go. That's gonna happen. That's just muscle memory. People used to starting on 19, holding down A when they hit start. Level 9 is not in people's muscle memory to start a game at. What happens all the time. So on the left side of your screen, it is, I don't know, familiar face. Fractal qualified into seed number 3 with a 469,000 average of his best 2 games played in a 1-hour qualifying period. His top score in that qualifier was 498. Just as we were coming live and switching over to Fractal's scene there, Fractal got a PB and cracked 500K in this mode for the first time. So hopefully, at least he's hoping anyway, that he is not peaked for the day. So in virtue of Fractal's top 8 qualifier, he got a 2-round bye. So this is Fractal's first match in this tournament. Fractal has an overall PB of 6.78 million. That is a top 10 score. Last I looked, he was rated number 10 in the July Premier poll coming into this tournament, just in overall Tetris prowess, and also 3rd in the DAS poll. Fractal is a 9-time CTM winner, and that includes wins in Lone Star 2022. That includes Mega Masters 2022 and 2024. And that includes 6 wins in our monthly tournaments as well for 9 overall wins. That is 3rd on the CTM wins list behind Dog Playing Tetris and Corian. Fractal also, by the way, a Classic Tetris World Championship world champion. That was in 2023. Also the reigning winner of the Jonas Cup in 2024. And he's also a runner-up in CTWC in 2022. That was the year before he won. Steele getting up high on the board here and trying to not let me get through the introductions. 112 for Fractal, 35,000 for Steele. Fractal also has been in DAS Masters 6 times. And is a Challenger Circuit winner, believe it or not. And also, yeah, Fractal also played in the first ever Stupid Tetris Monthly, our multi-mode championship that we held in 2020. So he's returned to Stupid. On the right side of your screen, it is Steele. All right, that's the players. No, anyway. Steele, actually, there's not a lot for me to say about Steele because this is Steele's first ever CTM tournament. It might be his competitive debut, I think, is what we have determined. Like, he's not played a lot of competitive Tetris, but somehow, Stupid Tetris Monthly, he's like, I can't resist. I have to play. So here he is, and he started in round 1, defeated Mari, and in round 2 defeated Ella E-flat, who was a 2-time runner-up in the championships in 2020 and 2021. Tetris for Steele, 77,000. 133 for Fractal. So we've seen a couple of people making what amounts to their competitive debuts in this tournament, getting into the top 16. Ghost is another one. And getting into the top 16. So they were just waiting for something to call out to their souls, right? So the tournament, this is a no next box tournament, although that's a little bit of a misnomer because the next box is there. It's just there's no piece in it. So players cannot see the next piece preview. And they are making all their decisions without the benefit of knowing what the next piece is. And you think, oh, is that really a big deal? Well, yeah, it is. I mean, you can see these players playing on level 9 here, and it is not a gimme by any means. All right, Steele in cleanup mode, 106, 149 for Fractal. So we do start on level 9. Tetrises on level 9 are worth 12,000 points. The speed increase, the first one happens at level 10. That is 100 lines in. There'll be another speed increase at 13, another at 16, and another at 19. So yeah, without benefit of that next piece, you can see players really just having to guess and gamble quite a bit. Especially when the stacks get high, you'll see players kind of cheating a piece left, or to the left a lot of times. Trying to kind of anticipating that most of the pieces they're going to have to move are going to be going to the left. But then when they get the long bar, they'll like cheat it back over to, or they'll whip it back over to the right. So 3 lines away from level 10, Fractal. He's at 180. And a healthy transition, or a very, very good transition so far in this tournament has been like 200,000 or above at level 10. Fractal going to get in at 190, so it's a reasonable transition score. If they were all perfect, if they were all Tetrises throughout level 9, it would be like a 300,000, basically. 301,200 would be the transition. So basically 300,000 would be perfect. 25 Tetrises, or, well, not to get in the math, but it would be 301,200. So if you can capture 2/3 of that with no next box, that's not bad, at least so far in this tournament. $224 for Fractal. He's on level 11. into level 12 now, and he's 10 lines away from the level 13 transition. That speed will increase again by about 25%. And it is, you know, you can see the players, even top player like Fractal, that speed increase definitely affected him, and he's about to hit another one in 3 lines. And we'll see what he can do. 174 for Steel on level 10. Now, these are best of 5s. We did start out this tournament with the idea that we're going to do best of 7s, but just ended up taking too long. So right in the middle of our first match, we said, you know what? Let's just change this to best of 5. And it has worked out. And these brackets are taking about as long as Masters level brackets take. So that is what we were after. 281 for Fractal, level 13. Steel is keyboard tapping, I believe. Fractal, of course, rolling. There's a nice dirty Tetris for Steel, 192,000, but he is now. Here's the thing: line difference is huge. Fractal has been pushing down. Steel, not as much or not at all. So Fractal right now, 146 lines. Steel at 122 lines, so a whole 2.5 levels ahead. Fractal is. Steel 7 lines away from that level 13 speed increase. Tetris for Fractal, he's into level 15, and the next speed increase is about to hit level 16, which is the same speed as level 18, and that speed will last for 30 lines. And yeah, then level 19 hits, and that is virtually unsurvivable without a next box, at least so far. Now, maybe somebody will be able to perfect an infinite line out on 19 with no next box. I don't know if that'll happen because I don't know if players will play enough reps on this mode to get that skill set. But Fractal 380 here on 16, and now plugging up that right side. And yeah, see, this is a real challenge. And you can see even a player, you know, a world-class legendary player like Fractal. Oh no, Steel gonna top out 242. A world-class legendary top player like Fractal, no next box on 18 speed is like, you know, that not easy. So Steel gonna top out Fractal. You are good in game number 1. Speak for yourself. This is fun. Well, Fractal is one of the few people who just really do seem to like this mode, and I think, you know, Fractal loves all kinds of different challenges and limitations and having to overcome them. So there you go. Fractal is fine. He loves it. Okay, as soon as Steel is ready, then we can, you know, we can start. But remember, don't rage quit out. No BA select start. Just start when you're in top out screen. I don't know where Steel went. Running around. Mr. Brain says, I enjoy playing Invisible No Row. All right. Remember, 9 start, not 19 start, right? No, do not hold A. Do not collect $200. All right, looks like both players are ready. 9 starts, guys, in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. All right, we did it. Oh my God, it's amazing. We had some pretty comical moments, players having difficulty actually starting on level 9 with no next box. It was not easy for, I think it was peak. We had to restart a match 5 times. Who is, you know, playing in this bracket. So we'll see if that continues. Now, hopefully Peak has been practicing. Doesn't need to practice gameplay. Just needs to practice literally starting a game on 9 with no next box. I hope he's been practicing. So Fractal up 1-0. There's a Tetris for Steel. Again, Tetris is here worth 12,000. Because level 9 is actually the 10th level from the start. Level 0 is a level. And 10 times 1,200. That is, well, the level times the 1,200 is what a Tetris is worth, so long as you understand that. Every level is actually like one higher than the level it's showing, right? Or just add one to the level, multiply by 1,200. Tiny Speaker says level 9 starts. So yeah, they are playing without a next box, if you haven't noticed. And if you have any doubt as to whether that is challenging, I ask anyone who thinks that it is not sure if it's challenging or not, or whatever, to give it a try. Fractal in a little bit of a situation, and yeah, if you want just an indication that this is difficult, you know, Fractal having trouble on level 9 will tell you right there. So let's see what Fractal can do. I mean, this is just blind guessing at this point. And that is going to be a top out for Fractal. The target is 76,000, which is basically one Tetris away for Steel. Tetris is 12,000, so a Tetris would do it. Steel is set up, so you can get a long bar, and yes, that is going to do it. Steel is going to tie it up. Ghost is in chat. This is your first time chatting. Says, let's go Steel. Yeah, Ghost will be playing. Ghost is also in top 16. All right, remember, just hit start to get back to the level menu. C-Dub says, making a frozen pizza right now, guys. What's everyone's favorite frozen pizza brand? It's Home Run Inn, and it's not even close. It is not even close, guys. All right, looks like both players are ready. What was once a best of 5, now a best of 3. Let us get them started. Game number 3. Yeah, Home Run, not even close. Vandy wrong as usual. Well, I mean, I can understand you're saying Vandy wrong. I can accept that. Why you have to say as usual as an extra insult, that I don't understand. You can say I'm wrong, but why do you have to add as usual? Frozen isn't good, period. Laurie, have you had a home run? It's really good. You're killing me right now. 25,000 for Steel, 37,000 for Fractal. The Chuck E. Cheese frozen pizza. Who did I watch eat that? Oh, I think it was was it the Retail Archaeology channel? So Steel's actually set up for a Vitz. And yeah, would love to get a bar sometime this century. But yeah, I was watching Retail Archaeology, and I think they were eating the Chuck E. Cheese frozen pizza. It did not look good. Home Run is really good. I can't say it enough. It's like, sometimes I'll say, like, I wish they could be a sponsor. Like, I would be proud to have Home Run as a sponsor of CTM. That is how good I feel about them. 29,000 for Steel, 74,000 for Fractal. C-Dub says Home Run sponsoring CTM when. I mean, we need a whole, we need somebody in charge of business development here. 87,000 for Fractal, 42,000 for Steel. Black Ops says, Vandy, remember that one time you said good dog to dog playing Tetris? Yeah, I mean, I think that's when that brief period of time when dog puns were not 1,000% cringe with regard to dog, but that time is way over now. Is that in most grocery stores, says Mr. Brain? Yeah, it's in at least around where I am, and I think it's around the country, but yeah, Home Run In. Look for that. Tetris for Fractal, 113, 45,000 for Steel. You've been a Screaming Sicilian fan for 15 years. Is that the one with like the Italian pizza chef on the thing, the cartoon guy screaming? Is that the one? 58,000 for Steel, 126 for Fractal. Jungle Cook says, they have a barbecue chicken thin crust right now that's so loaded up. So is the Sicilian screaming because there's barbecue chicken on a pizza? I know Giovanni gets upset anytime people bring up that. That is probably why he is screaming. Don't. I hope Giovanni's not here to hear this. 151 for Fractal, 82,000 for Steel. That's right. Home Run In could be our exclusive grease partner, right? To help you roll. You're a Sicilian and you allow it? All right, that's fine. Badelsberger says Vandy gets the sponsorship and starts calling 4-line clears home runs. Listen, if they want me to say this 4-line clear is sponsored by Home Run, I'll do it. I need the sponsorship. I'll do it. 190 for Fractal, 108 for Steel. So again, Steel back by 20 lines, right? So 20 lines is 5 Tetrises. And if he got all those lines with Tetrises, that would be 60,000 points. So, now, of course, they're not all going to be Tetrises, but a lot of them might be. So, Fractal, I would say, with a pace lead here. So 193 for Fractal. He's 10 lines away from level 10. And there's a Tetris. He's past the 200,000 milestone here in scores. So yeah, transition 200K or above is pretty healthy. All right, Steel taking a little combo burn here. Fractal into level 10 at 221. That's pretty healthy transition. Now, of course, you can practice your no next box stacking. Like you can or at least evaluate your no next box games on Nestris.org, because they do have the way to change the engine to without the next piece, right? So that would be a way to sort of evaluate your moves, is to have the engine evaluate them without the next piece. So you could go back and review these games if you wanted to. $253 for Fractal, $172 for Steel. Steel is 9 lines away. I have not played on Tetris.org in a while. I really do love the site, but I just haven't had a lot of time. All right, nice nifty, what they would call back in the day a 200 IQ burn there for Steel. 185, so we could potentially get about a 198, 197 transition. This should be pretty decent. So Fractal into level 13 now. And he's got a 100,000 point lead, but again, he's like 35 lines ahead. And there are just some players that like to push down. And they give that chase down pressure to their opponent, and this is going to be tough for Fractal. See if he can eke out any more points. And no, the top out is 288. So the chase down target for Steel is 289. That's about a 100,000 point chase down. Tetrises are going to be worth in the neighborhood of, right now they're worth 13,200. So he's got time, and this is very chase downable. Now, the problem is that singling and doubling does not get you a lot. So, like, for example, on level 11, a single is worth 480, right? Let's call it 500. If you're trying to chase down like 10,000 points, that's 2 levels worth of singles, right? So it's this is a challenge. Oh, nice adjustment there for Steel to wrench that piece over. Fractal watching, waiting. His fate in this one hangs in the balance. And Steel with a good-looking board and a Tetris. Tetrises are so good right now for Steel. He's about to hit the level 13 speed increase. He's set up for a Tetris with a good low board. And a Tetris for Steel. He's into 13. The speed is increased by 25%. All right, he's going to set up for a skim here. Kind of leaves himself a little dependent. You can see him sort of guessing on these placements. He's got to uncover. Now he's long bar dependent. This is tough. He wants a bar now. Okay, that's going to be great for a triple. The points are good too. Smart to put that long bar all the way to the left so he doesn't get kind of too high on the left side. Next speed increase is going to be at 160 lines. Tetris is on 14, worth 14,400. So, roughly 2 Tetrises away. And he's got a good low board. It should, maybe he could have done the S flat there, but of course, it's easy to say that when you're watching after the fact. And now Steel gets a bar. He really needed that. He's looking for a J piece. That long bar will do. Another long bar would be very helpful for Steel. Oh no, is this gonna turn? Oh, that's a great S piece. Oh, what a perfect piece right there. Oh my goodness. There's a nice triple, but he's about to hit level 16. A Tetris on 16 is worth 20,000. A Tetris from here on in would be enough. He does not necessarily have to do it by way of the Tetris. But he's got a good low board right now. Oh, that right side. Okay, he's eking it out line by line. Singles on 16 worth 680 points. It's not a lot of points. And he's on. Oh no, that T-piece. What can he do? What can he do? He's gonna, oh no. And no, 10,000 points short for Steel on the Chasedown. Fractal will survive. So what a sweat for Fractal watching Steel try to chase down 100,000 points. He gets 90,000 of it, but oh my goodness. What the heck? Fractal will go up 2 games to 1. I mean, a great, great effort. Oh, I love the chase down. And, you know, of course, that's all that chase down happens because Fractal pushes down, right? I mean, or at least the, you know, not the whole chase down, but, you know, the fact of just you're going to top out way earlier. The slowest chase down, says Octonion. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it was a really good game. Oh yeah, Mr. Brain says, a lot of my games on Nestris.org are like this, especially against the bots. They all press down, so sometimes I have 150,000 chase down. Yeah, for real. It seems like the bots should not be pressing down because, well, maybe the lower score bots should, because a lot of DAS players are going to be pushing down, you know, lower score kind of thing. But high, you know, the higher level bots probably should not be pushing down. It's not realistic. Is Nestris.org emulator only? It's no, not at all. In fact, you can play on the site and you can connect your console, right? You can actually OCR. There's a little way to OCR your console into it. And so you can play with your console. You just have to be able to capture. All right. Looks like both players are on Tetris. Both players are ready. Let's get them started. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris game number 4. So Steel needs to win this one to force a deciding game number 5. Again, remember, no same piece sets. This is a true no next box tournament. If we use same piece sets, there would potentially be the possibility of, you know, players knowing about upcoming droughts or being able to gank a piece here every so often. I think that would be a fun thing to try as an exhibition. And we might do something like that if I can get my life together enough that we can do Tetris Deathmatch again. But I think it would be fun to do a no next box same piece set match just as an exhibition. And then players would have to sort of, you know, jockey themselves into position to, try to play low, let your opponent get ahead. So maybe I can steal a view of the next box. Some people say that is not possible, but I mean, I know that people are in Masters at some of the, faster speeds. People are kind of getting a sense of what's coming up, right? When they fall behind in pieces. So I know that's happening. Vandy, are you doing another marathon stream at 200,000 subs? Yeah, I mean, 20,000 subs. Yeah, if we ever get there. I mean, I don't know that we'll ever get there, but we'll try. I mean, I look at our ceiling as whatever CTWC has. Like, same game, competitive Tetris. Now, we'll never be as big as them because they have they have the name World Championship in their title, which I guess makes them the World Championship. But, you know, but that is the ceiling. Like, we're never going to do better than that. But, you know, that gives you a sense of what is possible. Another thing I love about this mode is, you know, a player like Steel, who has basically no competitive history, can come in, play a Tetris match against a world champion and a Tetris master, and, you know, be in the top 16 and take a game off him. And yeah, maybe it's not standard Tetris, but, you know, you're playing against a world champion and holding your own. Okay, 76,000 for Fractal, 56,000 for Steel. There's a Tetris Steel. 9 lines back by 8,000 points. So, all right, little S flat there for Steel. Oh, there's a really good J piece for the left side for Steel. He's flattening out his stack. He's set up for a Tetris. Fractal waiting, getting, and Tetrising. All right, board was getting a little bit high for Steel, but he's going to get a long bar, bring it down, and he set up again. That was a nice S for the middle. All right, Fractal uncovers the well. Kind of L and J dependent there. Gets one of each to fill it in. Gets a nice triple to bring it down. So Fractal showing some, you know, good patience, good discipline. We've seen in some of the other matches, players just building way too high and hoping to get bailed, and then they don't get bailed. It's, well, oh man, RNG, but you got to be willing to take the triples just to keep this stack low. All right, good Tetris for both. 132 for Fractal, 117 for Steel. I don't know, Steel has hiccups or something. Are you okay? Hopefully Steel is okay. The King the Kid says, what would you do, Vandy, if a Tetris player started texting in chat while playing Kill Screen XD? I would say, oh my God, they're playing the kill screen and typing in chat. Wow. That's probably what I would do. 147 for Fractal. There is a Tetris for Steel. Lori on YouTube says, hello, Tetris viewers. Please like, subscribe, and bang that notification bell so you never miss a game. And something, they're promoting our channel. Yes. Thank you, Lori. Steel is set up down the middle. Can take a burn with a T. Oh, kind of opts not to take the other burn with the T, and kind of pays off because he gets a bar right after that. Yeah, and he's going to stay in the middle. We have seen this backfire on some other players in this tournament, and Steel is going to, you know, exhibit some self-awareness here, some discipline. Say, no, what am I doing? Do not be in the middle. Get this over to the left side. And you think, oh, well, wouldn't it be better to play center well, because then you don't have to worry about getting that bar over to the right? And yeah, sounds good in theory. But in practice, you're maintaining 2 stacks now, which you've got to do basically perfectly with no next box. All right, dirty there for Fractal, 199. He's on level 11, by the way. All right, Steel 8 lines away from level 10. Fractal 200,000 now, 164 Steel. Fractal ahead by 26 lines, something like that. All right, there's a nice split triple for Steel, and he's going to be setting up Dirty. I'm trying to get that going into 10. Tetris for Fractal, one row off the bottom again, 235 going into 13. That is a speed increase. At 130 lines, 160 lines, there'll be another one. Fractal gets a triple. Steel 183 now on level 10. Black Ops says, Vandy, we should have invisible Tetris for STM. Maybe, but I think there's only a handful of people who can actually do it. There would not be enough to fill out even a 16-player tournament. I mean, maybe I'm wrong about that. It's not something I really keep tabs on. All right, Steel 191 on 11. There is a Tetris for Fractal. He's got a great-looking stack right now. But he is about 6 lines away from level 16. Good score, 301. And a nice Tetris for Fractal, 320. How did Fractal get 30 lines ahead? He pushed down aggressively in level 9 phase. All right, it's getting a little fast here for Fractal. Oh my goodness. I mean, this, you know, kind of gradual transitions here, kind of like boiling the frog, right? Don't boil a frog. Well, I guess some people do. All right, do it if you want to, but not capriciously. 327 for Fractal. Let's see if he can eke out any more points here. And that's going to be a top out. 328 top out for Fractal. The target basically is 328 and then pretty much any points. So 329, let's say. Steel on 13 now. The speed is increased. This is a triple setup. Now his board's starting to get high. What can he get to the left? And he's really going to have to guess, and he gets a T over, so good guess. And this is not seem like it's going to be something that's going to be chased down without incredible luck. And yeah, the luck is not credible. And Steel is going to top out at 205, and Fractal has a good set here. Takes this one 3-1 against Steel. But let me tell you, Steel really in his first competitive experience comes in here and, you know, advances a couple of rounds and, you know, takes a game off a world champion. So GG, Steel. Had a great time. Hopefully you are inspired to play some more CTM, whether it's STM or whatever else we got, but we'd love to have you. So GG, Steel. Good to make your acquaintance as a player. Fractal, you will be moving on, so please stick around. You'll be playing the winner of the next match. We'll get that situated in a moment. Let me just report this one real quick. You're playing in Deathmatch next month. Awesome, Steel. GG's. All right, Fractal needs to eat dinner, but we'll be back. Well, hopefully this does not end quickly. Let me report this one. 3-1 Fractal will we'll show you the Bractal. There it is. Here it is. So there you go, Fractal in. All right, we're gonna set up our next one. We'll do it. Let me run the ads. Try to pay the bills a little bit. And then, all right, so what is it gonna be? It's gonna be 5 and 27. Right? So goodbye. No, 6 and 27. So goodbye 3. Hello 6. And then goodbye 19. Hello 27. We'll adjust all the cams and all that while we're hanging out. Dylan. All right, and then let's go find Peak. Let me just refresh Dylan too while we're here. All right, Peak is here. Oh my God, I almost saw Peak smiling. What the heck? Let's see how much. Let's see how much cam we get. We get tons of the wall above him, but anything below that, it's a challenge. All right, so we got Big Peak and Little Dylan. You wonder what Deck has been up to? Yeah, I haven't seen Deck in a while. All right, players, remember to do a natural top out when you top out so that your next box is off. It appears that Peak's next box is off, so that is good. Oh, Peak's camera, dead. The King the Kid says, what about an STM where they are blindfolded, but they have someone coaching them on where to put the pieces? Yeah, I don't think so. Then who is the winner? Is it the coach? Is it the controller player? I mean, that's fun as like a, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I think that is fun, but I don't think it quite fits what we're trying to do. Vandy, I'm using your streams to learn how to commentate and host matches. God, please do not. Do not go off of me. All right, well, Peak is here. I don't know what happened to your cam, but let me just refresh both these players and make. Peak, is your cam okay? All right. All right, I've refreshed everyone. Okay, so as soon as both players are ready. Oh yeah, Dylan does not have your hover 3ing. Okay, so a hover 3 from Dylan is good. Remember, it is level 9, so Dylan, if you want to hover 4, you can hover 4 if that makes it easier. Okay? I'm worried about Peak stream, but we're going to try it. Okay, let's get both players started. STM no next box, pink top 16. Dylan versus Peak in 3, 2, 1 Tetris. I'm really worried about Peak stream, but we're gonna start and we're gonna try and we're gonna play and we're gonna feel good about what is happening. PowerPoint slideshow frame rate. I mean, Peak hasn't even started. Yeah, I mean, Octetris, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Appreciate that. You had to put him on NTC to make it work. Yeah, that's not something I can necessarily do. I can Peak if I can put your cam on Video Ninja, but yeah, I don't do NTC. All right, we'll see what we get. It's moving. It's moving-ish. We'll do our best. I think NTC is great. It's just a little too inconsistent. On the left side of your screen, it is Dillan. Dillan qualified in with a 425,000. That was the average of his best 2 games played in a 1-hour qualifying period. So in virtue of that top 8 seed, Dillan got a first and second round bye. Dillan has a reputation as a top hyper tapper. He's one of those players that did not end up making the switch to rolling when the rolling revolution began. And so Dillan, everybody gets excited when Dillan's in CTWC. Is Dillan going to make it? Can a hyper tapper make it? So forth and so on. So Dillan, with that reputation, has an overall PB of 1.4 million. Of course, that is with tapping. One of really just a relative handful of players with a 1.4 with tapping. Dillan has played in every single one of our Mega Masters. And he's also played in... Oh, no, he did not play in 2022. So he's played in 3 of our Mega Masters, 2023 through 2025. He's played in 6 monthlies back in the day. Finished in the semis once. That was March 2022. Played in DAS Masters once. He's won a Challenger circuit back in December of 2022. 63,000 for Dillan, 16,000 for Peak. Dillan has been in the gold bracket of CTWC 3 times and has made the top 16 twice in 2022 and 2024, which is, pretty great feats for a non-roller, especially 2022 and beyond. Also played this year as well. So 87,000 for Dillan through 37 lines. Peak's board is a little bit of slideshow. And that is going to be a top out for Peak in game 1. So Dillan is good in game 1. So Dillan, you can top out. You are officially good. Peak, I don't know. Is it possible to lower your frame rate? I don't care if it looks like... I don't care if it's like... your bit rate. Not frame rate, your bit rate. If it's, I don't care if it's like 500, as long as we get something on the screen. You guess you should clarify he used NTC and sent you the NTC stencil link, if that makes a difference. The problem is with that, I just can't I need the analog feed to confirm game integrity to my satisfaction. And I just don't think NTC meets that criteria for me in terms of game integrity. I like to have the raw analog feed because then I can see like what is happening, and then it's available to the inspection of the entire Tetris community to see. Not Peak in particular, but just generally as a principle, having the raw analog feed makes the entire tournament, open to anyone to say, I'm wondering about this, and then to investigate it, right? So to me, that's important. Let me try to refresh Peak. There you are. You're back. We're refreshing you. All right, so we got a ready from Peak. Just need a ready from Dylan. We're going to do our best to get through it. So, Dylan, you can hover 3 or hover 4, or you can signal ready in chat, whatever you like. All right, hover 4 from Dylan. Both players are ready. Let's get them counted down. Game number 2, Dylan, up 1 game to none in 3, 2, 1 Tetris. And GB Toast, especially where we are not using same piece sets. If you're using same piece sets in NTC, then obviously it would be insane if there was a pre-recorded game. And, you know, again, I'm not saying anything about any particular player, but just as a general security principle, in a game with not same piece sets, where, you know, there's no security. So we're going to do our best to try to get through this. We do understand that we've slideshow on one player, but, you know, we're here to play Tetris. Did Peak try lowering res too? Yeah, not sure. Not sure. I mean, you know, listen, the player is aware that this is an issue, and what is really, presumably, if there was something he could do, he's been playing for years now, he would have done it. So it's probably not something he can do, and it's okay. Okay, we are underway in game number 2. There's a Tetris Dillan, 28,000. Peak 5 lines in. I will give line counts just so players can sort of understand what, you know, these score checks, what they mean. But 28,000 through 18 for Dylan, 24,000 through 9 lines for Peak. And a good flat board for Peak. A little high here, but a long bar incoming. That's going to be a Tetris for Peak. We didn't get to see the Tetris, but, you know, we enjoyed the stack coming down about a Tetris's worth of lines. The King the Kid says, has there ever been a pre-recorded game sheet in a Tetris tournament? Not that I'm aware of. I mean, I don't know. You know, back in the old days, there was no prize pool, right? So if players cheated, it was stupid because it didn't, you know, you just got the hollow feeling of, I won this tournament, and then you also know that you didn't really win the tournament. Now that there's prize pool, we have to take game integrity seriously, so, you know, we use same piece sets to make 100% sure that it's, you know, fair, and that helps us know that they're not pre-recorded. Qualifiers, we have a system to ensure that they're played, you know, at the time and not pre-recorded. So, you know, you know, it could happen, or it could attempt to happen. But the other thing is, you know, there have been times where people have tried to cheat PBs and other achievements and things like that, and community seems to be pretty good at sussing it out. We have a lot of smart people, and if something seems off, you know, it jangles alarms, and people investigate it. And, you know, there have been things that have been sort of you know, they've been kind of ferreted out. 102 for Dylan, 102 for Peak. Both have, they're basically one line apart. And Peak's board up, you know, fairly high here. You're going to have to find something to uncover that right side. That left side is going to be really tough to deal with, because you basically have to guess, and I don't know, is that square going to get over? No, that is going to be a hang of a square. So let's see if this can come down. A bar on that right side would really help Peak. 105 for Peak through 54. 116 for Dylan. So Dylan ahead by 10,000 points. So, you know, decent paces. And oh, that left side is going to be cut off for Peak. And Dillan is good in game number 2. So you are good, Dillan. GG's, Peak. GG's, good pace. I mean, 100,000 through the 50s is really good pace, but just hung that square as far as I can tell. And then that cut off that real left side of the board there. So oh yeah, people do definitely cheat for things where there aren't prize pools. And yeah, but now that there is a prize pool, there's the incentive to really put practices in place. All right, Dillan is up 2 games to none. And Peak needs to win this one to stay in the tournament. Both players are ready. Let us get them counted down for game number 3. And they are about to begin. Dillan is also in Tap Masters this month. He has yet to play. He is the number 2 seed in the tournament. His bracket has not been scheduled yet, but there's a potential for a big Peak hasn't started yet. Let me refresh Peak just to make sure. So yeah, this could just be stream delay, not exactly sure. Peak, you can start. I mean, we're started, so if you don't see the countdown in chat, we might have to start this over. All right, so let's go ahead and Dillan, you can go ahead and top this one out. Let's figure out what's happening on Peak's side. There's something happening over there. I think Peak is kind of frustrated. I wouldn't blame him, but top out. We're gonna just restart this and figure out what can we do to get Peak's board here, Peak's side fixed. So let me refresh both of them just to make sure. Oh, it might be better to let Dillan's delay a little bit, right? That's okay. No, hey, not a problem. All right, Peak, I don't know if you're hearing commentary or not, but let's I don't know if you're ready again. Okay. We're going to try to I'm getting a swirly there. See that swirly? That's what scares me, but all right. I'm going to start him and hopefully it'll be good. All right, this is the real game 3, the real game 3 for real on God, no cap. Dillan up 2 games to none, 3-2-1 Tetris. All right, so we will try and get Peak's stream going. I mean, above all, we are here to play Tetris, right? Not to see who has the best internet, right? So as long as we can see that Tetris is being played and there's progression in the game being made, that's what's important. Let me just try to refresh one more time. This is really, I imagine it's got to be frustrating to have this, right? All right, so it is moving. The game is moving. That is good. That is good. I see Tetris happening. That is the key. So as I was saying, yeah, Dillan is also playing in Tap Masters. He's the number 2 seed in that. And that's a matchup could be brewing. It's hard to say because we still got to play it. But, you know, Dillan, number 2 seed, Joseph Saley is in the other bracket or in the other kind of half of that same bracket from the teal side. So if they both win their matches, it could be Dillan versus Joseph, which, I mean, that would be kind of that would be a matchup that a lot of people want to see. All right, I'm gonna let this load here. 28,000 for Dillan through 18. Peak's board here. I'm sure we'll catch up as soon as it connects. But we did get that started. So just keep playing. Please do keep playing as though everything counts with your whole heart and mind. Please do keep playing. Let me try refreshing again, see what happens. All right. We've got some push down points have been achieved. We have a Tetris about to be achieved. Oh my goodness. All right. It might come back. It might come back. I'm going to refresh it here. All right, 88,000 for Dillan through 38. And we'll just keep playing. We'll see if we can get that stream coming back. And yeah, it doesn't seem to want to come back. Well, we might have to do this. Maybe we can do NTC. Maybe. I mean, Peak, obviously, trustworthy individual. A fellow organizer and a pillar of the Tetris community. But yeah, keep playing Dillan. We're going to keep trying to bring Peak back. Dillan at 100,000 through 42 is a good score. Yeah, it's not coming back. We're going to let Dillan go a few more lines here, but if we can't get it back, then maybe we will do NTC as a backup. And problem is, if I do it one time, then people are just going to want to play an NTC, and that's not something I want to encourage, but I do want to get this done. All right, I'm going to give it one more refresh, give it a little bit to come back. And yeah, it's not coming back. It's not coming back. So I'm so sorry to do this, guys. Let's we're gonna have to go ahead and top this out. Peak, if you want to do it on NTC, we can do it just so we can get these done. So you can top out. You are free to top out. Dillan, you're playing awesome. So, yeah, you can top out. Sorry, Dillan. But nobody else ever asked for NTC. This is Peak special. I've never done it, so we'll have to try and see if we can. Is it just a link? Like, do I just put it in I just have to get a URL? It's a link. All right, Peak. If that's something you're willing to do, I'm willing to do it. And I just put it in the browser source. Okay. Dylan, thank you for your patience. I'm so sorry. This just sometimes happens, you know, and there's really not much you can do about it. Except try. I don't know if... I don't even know if Peak is here anymore. Hi, Peak. Peak is still here. Okay. So, Dylan, you do not have to play an NTC. This is something only Peak would do. So they'll just send me a stencil-ready scene, and we'll try to complete it that way. Do I get cam on that link? Is that a thing that happens? Does that work? Or do I just... I mean, I'm happy to go no cam if we have to. Just to try and get this one in the books. And then, you know, Peak wins, obviously. We'll do it for the next match as well. No cam on stencil link. Or like ninja cam? Or would you ninja cam? Or is that too much to do? I mean, I do prefer the cam, but if we have to go without it, you know, we can make a one-time exception just in the... Because we got to move the tournament along. You'll try to use ninja? Thank you. Yeah, so just send me the relevant links in Discord DMs. And thanks everybody watching for your patience as we try to get this going. We should do the Classic Tetris Wars and let people send in pre-recorded games. And just pretend they're going live and go, oh my God, can he chase this down? Right? Even though it like already happened. All right, well, we don't need to put Dylan on display here, so we'll just let Dylan practice privately or do whatever he wants to do while we get this sorted. And I'll run an ad to monetize this great content. Why not? Okay, all right, I've got a link for Peak. Let's see. All right, we're making progress, Dylan. Hang in there. What is this level? This is 27. Okay. Is this stencil ready? Hold on. It's pretty close. Hold on. We're working it out. I mean, it is. I just have to line it up because it's not exactly lined up with... That's right. You're being monetized there, Jungle. All right. Oh, it's funny that it actually is not actually perfectly stencil ready. Oh, you know what? It's probably, yeah, it's probably because his original cam is not. So his original board isn't. So let me just do that real quick. Okay. All right, that'll do. Stencil. Okay. And then camera. Let's get a camera. He sent me a Video Ninja link. We're getting there. Oh, whoops. Copy. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're almost there. Okay. New browser source. Add source. Deprecated. No, it's not deprecated. Okay. Browser. Peak. 1920 by 1080? I don't know. And I don't know what it is. Oh my God, look who we have. We have a friend. We have a wonderful friend. Oh, look at this friend. What is this? Okay. We're so close. Let me just lock that other... What is this other thing that's open? I don't know what that is, but... What is that? Oh, what is this? I don't know what this is. And it's unlocked and it's in the way. Oh, I see. I see what it is. Sorry. Okay, we're good. We're good. Peak, you're here, you're playing Tetris, and that is what matters. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get this for real game 3 working. We're using Tetris Champs. Nobody ever asked again to do it, but we're doing it. Peak says, this is truly ironic. The thing I criticize the most is what's saving the stream. Yeah, for sure. All right, you ready? So, Dylan, we are ready. And again, thank you for your patience, Dylan. I'm so sorry that all this stuff happens. So if you want to say, okay, looks like we have both players ready. Let's go ahead and get them started while we can. Dylan versus Peak. Game number 3. Peak needs to win this one to stay in the tournament. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. That's fine. Just restart, Peak. Just restart. Dylan, you keep playing. Peak, you can just start playing again. There you go. You're good. Yeah, Dylan, you keep playing. You do not restart. Peak will restart. Because he started with the next box on. Okay, well, we are playing. It is game number 3. We have rescued the stream. Thank you to, I guess, the backup Tetris Champs. And by the way, I don't dislike Tetris Champs. I just, you know, I like it a lot. It just doesn't quite 100% meet the needs that I would have of that solution. So we don't quite use it. I think it's great for on-site. If you're doing an on-site event, 100%. Use Tetris Champs if you can do it. All right, 36,000 on the left side for Dillan, 25,000 for Peak on the right side. I mean, Peak, it's kind of funny because it's Tetris Champ and it's still like, it's still slideshow, but we're getting through it, so that's okay. Dillan gonna set up long bar column 9, which I always think is like, it feels very aggressive in no next box, but whatever. Dillan, I mean, it's Dillan. He can do things that other people can't. 60,000 Dillan gets a long bar over at Tetris. 62,000 for Peak. All right, it seems to be working slightly better. All right, looks like Peak's going to get a Tetris 87,000 through 35, 84,000 through 28 for Dillan. So Dillan had to kind of make a gap in the board and then ended up covering it, putting like 6 rows above it. So this is pretty challenging situation here for Dillan. 84,000 for him, 111 for Peak, who has come alive since going on Tetris Champs. All right, so Dillan in a bit of a down stack here. Gonna have to get lucky. Okay, that's gonna be a great triple. And even despite the misdrop of the S on the right side, might be able to bring this down if he can sneak a long bar over to the right side, and he does. So this is a pretty dire for Dillan in that left side now. This is, how do you guess a long bar over there? And it's kind of hard to do that. So Dillan going to top out at 90,000, and all of a sudden Peak on Tetris Champs cannot be beat. So that is, you are good in game number 3, Peak. And even on Tetris Champs, we're a little bit delayed. So I can imagine, even if like Tetris Champs and Video Ninja is having trouble on that poor computer, imagine what trying to stream is like. So laptop fund for Peak is what we need. All right, so Peak, if you want to signal ready in the chat, just let me know in the chat when you're ready. I don't know if you're listening to comms or not. Okay, you're ready. All right, it looks like Dillan's ready as well. Game number 4, Dillan's up 2-1. Peak needs to win this to force a deciding game number 5. Otherwise, Dillan will be the one moving on to the next round to take on Fractal. All right, Dillan gets that long bar over to column 2. That's going to help him fix this board early on. Kind of start it off with kind of this pile of Z's, S's, and T's and kind of garbage. But he's getting it sorted out. Peak on the board has a Tetris. Dillan looking for his first one. Remember, these players are playing no next box. They cannot see what the next piece is. That is a challenge. And if you don't believe me, try it. And yeah, we've had multiple people saying, well, I'm so bad, I don't even look at the next box. So I probably wouldn't be any worse. And then they go and try it and they go, oh, I must look at the next box. It's like happened multiple times. All right, so let's see what Peak's going to do with the long bar. Will it go over? Yeah, it goes up to the left. And Peak set us up for a Tetris. The long bar gets over Tetris Peak, 41,000, 38,000 for Dillan. All right, Dillan looking for a Z piece. And just kind of ends up dead dropping that S piece in the middle. Going to try to take some burns and bring this down. But yeah, that's a good leave for Dillan because he can throw a Z or a T in there and just have a couple of burns to get Tetris ready again. So not too bad. 40,000 for Dillan, 65,000 for Peak. And maybe an overshift of an L to that left side. He's going to take a square and burn that away. Long bar gets over Tetris Peak, 78,000. 52,000 Dillan. Now Peak is pushing down and is 10 lines ahead. Tetris is here worth 12,000 points. All right, let's see what's going to happen with that J piece. Oh, that ends up being tucked over. Is he going to go for the Z spin? I can't imagine. And no. All right, so he's bringing it down 80,000 for Peak, 41 lines in, 66,000 for Dillan. Mr. Brain says, I think Vanny took everyone seriously who said that, and I think 90% were joking. Mr. Brain says, I was joking when I said that thing about I don't play with the Xbox anyway. Mr. Brain, if you were joking, that's fine. But I have heard that sentiment. You know, I've been doing this for a long time. I've heard that sentiment said with utter sincerity by people. Both, you know, this go round and in previous years. So I've been doing this a long time there, Mr. Brain. I've heard it all. 93,000 for Dillan through 47, 89,000 now 101 through Peak through 63. So Peak ahead by 16 lines. Dillan, good board. Oh, opts not to take a burn here, which I think is aggressive in this mode, but, you know, who am I to question Dillan? I am no one. Longbar gets over Tetris Dillan. Peak with a little bit of a spire there in column 8 and 9. All right, Peak's board up pretty high here and has gaps, so he really needs a bar. And pieces starting to pile. And a long bar gets over. That's a good Tetris for Peak. That's going to knock this stack down 4 rows. And now he is in the process of down stacking this whole thing. 118 for him, 119 for Dillan. But Peak ahead, you know, pushing down 18 lines ahead. So really Dillan with a good pace lead. Longbar gets over for Dillan. And I wonder... Okay, we're still playing. We are still playing. 132 for Dillan. There's a nice Tetris, Dillan. Oh, there's a great L piece for that left side. Pete gets it over. Dillan back by, yeah, still about 14, 16 lines, something like that. Ahead by about 2 Tetrises. Again, Tetris is here worth 12,000 points. That first speed increase is going to kick in level 10 at 100 lines. So peak just about there. And, you know, board fairly low for that transition. You hate that little notch over on the left side, but still low enough, and he's going to fix it with a T anyway. So peak now 3 lines away from level 10. He's at 137. 150 is the transition into level 10. He gets a Tetris right after that. Dillan. Well, let's see if Dillan holds. Oh, he gets the T piece in the middle, nails the spin. I've seen people miss these spins on level 9. They're so used to hitting these spins like on much higher speed, and the timing gets thrown off a little bit. So Dillan here trying to take a good board into 10. He's knocking this down row by row. Peak at 167 through 109. There is a Tetris. Or it's about to be a Tetris anyway. There it is. All right, into level 11 for Peak at 182. Dillan, long bar Tetris, 187, 97 lines. So peak at 200 now on into level 12. So peak a good, 23 lines ahead on our screen. And I don't think that's just the screen. I think that's peak has been pushing down. So Tetris for Dillan into 10 at 200,000, which is a decent transition in this mode. And a Tetris for Dillan, 214. All right, Peak basically has to guess. When you get double long bar dependent, like right next to each other, and you get a long bar, you basically have to decide, oh, which dependency do I make, and hope you guess correctly about what your next L or J is going to be. 236 for Peak, 214 for Dillan. And Peak is now into level 13, so that speed is increased again. The next speed increase will be at 160 lines. Level 16, Dillan barely gets a long bar over, but he gets the Tetris. 229 for him. So Peak with the absolute score lead, even though he's way ahead in lines, and that is important. Dillan gonna open up that right side. All right, Dillan is blocked, and he's gonna be able, to unblock. He's set up for a Tetris if he can get a bar. Peak at 244 on level 14. Tetris for Dillan, 248. So Dillan, definitely with the pace advantage, with the score basically tied. Peak's board getting up a little bit high. He's into 15. There'll be a speed increase at 16. So he's going to have to bring this down in order to really do much of anything on 16. So Dillan, good board here, 264. He's 2 lines away from that 13 speed increase. And he's getting some great pieces for the middle. Oh, and he has to block the well just in time. And this is kind of a tough transition situation here for Dillan. He needs something for that right side. He gets a burn. That's going to help. A long bar is going to help for another double. And Peak is going to top out, I think. Is Peak topped out? And Peak is going to top out at 254. And Dillan, you are good. So Dillan has taken this one. I just swallowed. Oh, my throat. Dillan has taken this one 3-0. Peak, a good effort in that third game. His best game is the third one when he needed to, and really put pressure on Dillan here. But Dillan is going to survive. Peak, GG's to you. Don't worry about the issues at all. just happy you're playing. You know, it's all about playing Tetris, right? So, GG's to you. So, it is going to be Dillan versus Fractal in the top 8. So, let's go ahead and run a quick ad. And again, GG's peak. Hope to see you again. And we're going to run a quick ad. We'll get these players moved around. So the right side, goodbye 27. And hello 6. Oh my God, it's Dillan versus Dillan. Oh my God. And they're getting the same pieces. Are you serious? Holy moly. It's like big Dillan versus little Dillan here. All right, we'll fix up the cams. Oh my God. I mean, wow. One of them not on stencil though. Let's see, let's fix stencil. Ready? Reset transform. Oh no, whoops. That's not what I wanted to do. In the game, yeah. Let's reset transform here. It's not Dylan's fault. I'm sure it's my fault. Yeah, that's good enough. Double Dillan. All right, yeah. Now let's get Fractal in there. Goodbye, Dillan. Hello, Fractal. You crossed your eyes and now it's in 3D. What the heck? All right, so let me refresh Fractal. He might still be at dinner. Hopefully he's back, but that's, you know, other match took about as long as a decider, so maybe he'll be back. One of them should have a goatee like in Star Trek. Yeah, Fractal's back. All right, Fractal's frack. All right, Dillan, I didn't know if you needed a little break or anything like that, or if you needed a moment or whatever. You're welcome to take one if you need it. Dillan just, you know, casually setting up for Tetris on 19, no next box. Yeah, it was 3-1. That's right. You're right. Did I say otherwise? Why am I looking at Tap Masters? Okay, yeah, as soon as you get both players ready, then we can start, and it looks like both players are ready. So here it is, Stupid Tetris Monthly, no next box. This is a top 8 match between Fractal and Dillan, our 3rd and 6th seed. The winner of this will go to the semi-finals. Let's go ahead and get them started. A best of 5 in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Oh, you're starting off with the same one piece, but thank goodness not the second piece. On the left side of your screen, you might know this guy, is Fractal. He is a former CTWC World Champion, a 9-time CTM Champion, including a 2-time Mega Masters Champ. That is our annual championship. He's won it twice. He's the first player ever to get colors in NES Tetris. Did it on the PAL version, getting to level 138 back in February of 2022. It seems like forever ago, but that's when it was. He won 3 Masters events back-to-back in 2024. He's our Lone Star winner, our first ever Lone Star championship. That's our live championship. This guy's done a lot. He qualified into seed number 3 in this tournament with a 469,000 average of his best 2 games played in a 1-hour qualifying period. He got a 2-round bye, so he got to start in the top 16 and took out Steel, who had a pretty good run for like a brand new player who's really just starting to play competitive Tetris. He got through Mari and Ella E-flat, which is, pretty good in Stupid Tetris Monthly. But Fractal did take out Steel, ending his run. And he's the top, the 10th highest rated Tetris player coming into this tournament. 3rd in DAS in terms of his rating in Premier Poll. Go to premierpoll.com. Premier with an E at the end. On the right side of your screen, it's Dillan. 61,000 for Dillan, 31,000 for Fractal. Dillan qualified in with a 425,000 average of his best 2 games played in a 1-hour qualifying period. Dillan, one of the few people with a tap 1.4. There's just a handful of people under our Tap Masters rules. I think there's like only 7 or 8. It's not a lot, but he's one of them. Dillan has played in 3 of our Mega Masters the last 3 years, including this year. He's also in 6 of our monthlies, the monthly Masters event back when it was 16 players and harder to get into. He was in it 6 times, mostly 2020, 2021. He's a winner of a Challenger circuit back in December of 2022, 3 times CTWC Gold Bracket player, and he got to the top 16 twice as a tapper in the rolling era, 2022 and 2024. Also played this year in Gold. It was fun to see his run. But now, trying to become a stupid master of the no next box mode. 82,000 for Fractal, 99,000 for Dillan. There's a Tetris for Dillan, 111,000. Fractal's board, that is very, very tough. He's going to have to recognize when that bar comes very quickly because he's got a spire of S's in columns 8 and 9, and he really wants to get a bar over to that left side, but you've got to guess it, and you've got to recognize it quickly and get it over, and he does that. So he's going to get a triple and knock this stack back down. So let's see what he's going to try to do. Is he going to... Yeah, he's going to chuck another long bar over there. I think that was a split triple, or... I think it was a triple. He's setting up for a dirty Tetris. 2 rows off the bottom. Long bar over. Tetris Fractal, 100,000. So he is out of the danger zone, but still needs to get this stack back in order so he can start scoring again. Dillan right now, 135 through 52 lines. He's back 9 lines from Fractal. We start this tournament on level 9. It is a best of 5. Players do not use same piece sets because we want to keep it a true mystery as to what pieces are coming. So they can't, get a sense of what's coming up from commentary or by peeking over to the other player's screen potentially. 141 for Dillan, 104 for Fractal. Dillan defeated Peak in the previous round to get here to the top 8. To, or however you pronounce it, says, am I remembering correctly, there's no Lone Star this year? There is no Lone Star this year. Mari and Sharky, if you are a Texas person, they are doing an event down in Houston that is not CTM affiliated, because why would you make a CTM affiliated event when you could make it CTWC affiliated? And that, you know, that adds a lot. Boy, just hand them a nice free stream. You know, why not do that? 167 for Dillan. Tetris for Fractal, 131. Dillan making adjustments on no next box. I know. Chen says, I would make it CTM affiliate. Well, of course you would. We don't have affiliated streams. Yeah, we don't have affiliated qualifiers. We just do Lone Star or nothing. That's it. However, I am exploring a Lone Star for 2026 in a different venue. Dillan getting up high on the board, and this is a little bit of a bail bar, so he gets it, and another bar for Dillan. So 203 for him through 86, and he's pacing a bit. 156 for Fractal through 92. Anything over 200 when you get to level 10, that's pretty good pace. Level 10 is the first speed increase. But yeah, I am exploring CTM for, Lone Star for 2026, different venue. Someone who wants to have the kind of event that we want to have. Fractal is into level 10 at 182. And I also want to do it. The aspiration is to have it in a cool, walkable place, right? So there's other stuff to go to and see and all that. And I also want to do it where it's not 7,000 degrees outside. So doing it not in like the middle of the hottest month of, the year. 196 for Fractal. 228 for Dillan. Dillan one line away from the level 10 transition. Fractal getting set up for a Tetris. Long bar gets over Tetris. Dillan gonna take the triple into 10. Oh, and kind of see what Dillan was going for there. I'm not sure if that was a double flip or some sort of intentional kind of something there, but he's making it kind of work-ish. That square doesn't help, but he does uncover the right side, so if bar comes in, he will be able to get that in there. Oh, and you can use that flat T. And long bar over Tetris. Dillan, 249 for him. Both players are on level 18. Dillan just getting in. Fractal about to get out and into level 12. So Dillan with that 21,000 point lead. Tetris is on 12 are worth 16, let me guess here, what is it, 16,800, is that right? Yeah, 16,800. I can do math. Fractal gonna get Tetris ready. He's on level 12. Now the next speed increase is at level 13. That's the same speed as level 15. And Tetris for Dillan, 283, 246 for Fractal. They're 2 lines apart. Fractal has more material on the board here, so he's a little bit further ahead just in terms of raw number of pieces. Oh, and Fractal's middle of the board. That is a bit of a danger here on 13. Dillan with a great board going into 13. He's at 301. And if you get another 100,000 piece, if you can get to like 300,000 through 13, that seems to so far have set players up for some decent success in this tournament so far. But Fractal has to downstack here and maybe gambling a little bit on a bar and gets a bar, gets a triple. And yeah, gonna overshift that Z piece to the left, but at least got it out of the way. So bar down the middle for Fractal. Fractal's board just getting higher and higher here. That T is going to help. So 275 for him, 342 for Dillan. Dillan's board now almost platform strats, like tree strats, like he's doing a speed run. So I don't know what Dillan's really going to be able to eke out here as additional points. And I think Dillan was just about ready to top out as well. But Dillan was had a healthy lead when they were both headed for a top out. So Dillan going to take game number 1. Remember, if you are an Amazon Prime member, you do get a free Twitch Prime sub that you can subscribe to any streamer you want. So consider using it for hours. You know, another thing I'm looking for a Lone Star site is like under a mile from my house. That would be great. Who got a new PB? You just scored a level 19 PB. GG's GB toast. All right, looks like both players are ready. It is game number 2. Dillan up 1-0 over Fractal. Fractal looking to tie it up. We will be launching, well, the aspiration anyway is to launch our August tournaments tomorrow, or at least by Monday morning, so that people can start playing those. Those can start being scheduled. Yeah, they do overlap with STM and Tap Masters, but that's okay. They're going to take a while for them to get scheduled anyway, so not a big deal. But at the very least, we can get the scheduling underway. All right, players have started here on 2. Fractal with a couple of Tetrises. Dillan looking for another bar. Man, Dillan getting a little droughted to start off this game. Of course, players are not getting the same pieces. Dillan going to tuck that in here. So this is tough. I mean, Dillan might have only had 1 bar so far. So this is actually really tough. This is why it's really behooves you not to overcommit or stack too high. But Dillan making it work and finally gets a long bar. Dillan cannot believe that drought to start this game off. I think he's on 2 bars right now. Oh no, he's on 5 bars. All right, he's on 5 bars. Fractal's on 8 bars. Yeah, all the seeds are different in this tournament. We want to keep it a true no next box, a true mystery as to what piece is coming. And we really couldn't do that if we did same piece sets. I would spoil droughts in the chat. I would spoil pieces in the chat. Players could peek over the other side if they could sort of detect just about where they are, relative to the other player. So we want to keep this totally untainted as a no next box tournament. 73,000 for Fractal, 64,000 for Dillan. I mean, I would say overwhelmingly, I don't think RNG has really determined any of the matches. The outcome in really any of these matches. Every once in a while, I peek over and just kind of compare bars, compare piece distribution. Now, of course, bars don't tell you the whole story. Of course not. It's all about timing and which piece you get and when and all that. But in terms of the sort of the macro things to track, piece distribution and bar, number of bars and things like that, I have not noticed a game where they're so different. And in fact, well, to the extent that I have found that they have some difference, oftentimes it's the player getting fewer bars that wins. So and I think just what we're seeing in terms of players playing and how they've been playing and what they've been doing and strategies and things like that, when whatever player wins, it seems to make sense, right? $100 for Fractal, 101 for Dillan, and they're just 2 lines apart. Now, Fractal was pushing, if I remember correctly, Fractal was pushing down in the first match against Steel, but I don't think he's been pushing down in this one. He's got an even 0 there for lines here, and they're relatively close in the number of lines, so I don't think Fractal's been pushing down in this one. 126 for Dillan, 125 for Fractal. Now, I think the push down maybe helped Fractal a little bit, not just in terms of in score, which it's pretty insignificant, but just in terms of that pressure that you put on the other opponent to sort of play from behind. And if you top out, you know, that chase down pressure can throw some players off. And I commend both of our players for, even though I'm talking about push down, for not pushing down as a meme. See, they don't have the mental space here for memeing. They're trying to play no next box. This is big brain stuff here. This takes literally 100% of your brain. Like every single neuron is firing simultaneously. 161 for Fractal. That's a good score for Fractal. 164 for Dillan. This is a gentle song for a gentle speed. Does not feel gentle, I guarantee you, for these players. I mean, this just feels, when you're playing this, if you try, I mean, go ahead and play it. It feels very tight. Like you have got to focus in. Like it's hard to just play on vibes and with your sort of automatized placements, you know. It's a whole other level of challenge. 174 for Fractal, 189 for Dillan. Tetris Fractal 188, 189 for Dillan. We are super close in lines and score. There's another Tetris for both of them. It's about 15 lines to go until level 10. This music's kind of putting me to sleep in this hypnotic level 9. 214 for Dillan. Tetris for Fractal. He's going to try to clear all, and a square would really help him out here, but he's going to have to take a few extra burns here. And the long bar is coming down. Useless long bars. Oh, so Fractal does not take the burn there with that JP's. Not sure if he didn't see it or if he was going for something else, but he could have burned that away with a flat J piece. Again, much easier to play when you're not actually playing. 214 for Fractal, 226 for Dillan. Long bar over Tetris. Dillan is the first one into level 10 at 240. This is a pace. Remember, if you play perfectly, it's a hair over 300,000. So he has captured about 80% of the total points from 9 to 10. Is that right? 80%? He captured a lot of points. Fractal with a decent transition here too, 229. But this might be, I mean, it's probably one of the highest transitions we've had so far in this tournament into level 10. What music is that? That was Flex Style. That's a one that normally isn't in the playlist. That is Summer Stillhead, Summer Silence on the Perfect Getaway album. That's the remix album. 269 for Fractals, 270 for Dillan. We're into level 11. The next speed increase is going to happen at level 13. And Dillan's been scuffling for a little bit. This has allowed Fractal to kind of climb back into it. And we are basically tied now. Fractal with a Tetris. Dillan really wanted an L piece. It's going to be a bar instead. Of course, you love your perfect piece, but you also just hate using a bar for anything other than a Tetris. 295 for Dillan into 13. 304 for Fractal. 4 lines away from that 13. Okay, Dillan trying to handle this 13 speed increase. Kind of a pesky gap in the middle. He's just trying to clear this away and start scoring. And Fractal's board getting up a little high as well. That right side could be a problem. And he's just going to have to guess now. He is gambling. He's trying to eke out whatever points he can. That's going to be a top out. 307 is the chase down for Dillan, but does he know it yet? 307 is the target. And the long bar gets over, and there it is. Dillan will take game number 2. If you want to mullen it out, you can, but you've already played a lot of no next box, so that's up to you if you want to do it. Dillan, you are good, though. Mullins are allowed, but not expected. And also fairly surprising if somebody wants to do that. So, yeah, let's see what Dillan just gonna... Well, is he gonna do it? He's kind of half-heartedly. He's like, well, should I mullen? Should I not? Do I really want to keep playing? At least you can get the warm-up, right? 15, get into that 16 transition. It's like a free warm-up. All right, we'll see what he can do on 16 speed. Nah, it's done. All right, looks like both players are ready already. So they've already signaled ready. So game number 3, Fractal and Dillan. Fractal needs to win to stay in. Otherwise, it'll be Dillan moving on to the semis. What is up? A Peach Trees, Pixelandy, Somalian Captain. Somalian, I just want to let you know you were in my premiere poll. I put you on the list. Pixelandy, I also want to let you know I put you on my list. No, just kidding. All right, we are underway. Both players kind of stacking high to start off with. Tetris for Fractal. Longbar goes in for Dillan. It's not going to burn anything, but it is going to fill out his board. And so now when he uncovers that right side, he will... Oh, look at that beautiful piece. Just like, it's like made for it. Tetris Dillan, Tetris Fractal. Also Fractal, you're on my list. All right, Tetris for Fractal, 36,000. Oh, Dillan gets that piece over to the left side and needs a bar or an L to the left and gets an L. That's a good triple too. You like triples. You don't mind a triple here. It's good points. It's, it's only a quarter of a Tetris, but it's still good points. Yeah, you are burning a little pace, but You like points. All right, nice little burn there with the T for Fractal 62,000. And Dillan, yeah, of course, can't do one piece he can't do anything with is the square, so of course he gets a square. Gets a Tetris down though, 43,000 for him, 74,000 for Fractal. Tetris Fractal again, 86,000 through 33. Remember, Tetris is here worth 12,000, so this is, you know, 7 Tetrises worth of points, which would be 28 lines, so maybe he's gotten 6 Tetrises so far. It's pretty good. 47,000 for Dillan. All right, Fractal in kind of a delicate situation now. He's got to find something for that left side. That T is going to help. Okay, he uncovers the right, and he's able to see he was cheating that long bar. He's cheating all the pieces to the left, but when the bar comes, he can adjust it back over to the right. So when you're at a certain height, you're going to start just kind of cheating the pieces over to the left. You're going to start going, oh, like 6 out of 7 pieces are going left. I'm going to start moving them. And if the bar comes, then I know I've got to, you know, ring it back to the other side. So 101 for Fractal, 53,000 for Dillan, just about the same line count. Oh, Fractal able to get that J piece to the left very quickly. Oh, and he sets up a T-spin, gets an immediate T. That is like Fractal RNG even in stupid Tetris Monthly. Yeah, that Z piece is like one of the pieces he can't really do a lot with on this board, so of course the game's going to give him a couple of them. And the long bar gets over Tetris Fractal 115. Dillan's going to get set up for a Tetris. He's waiting on a bar, 66,000. Tetris for Dillan, 78,000. Fractal sets up long bar, column 9. He's got a burn and he takes it. Squares are going to the left. If you can get yourself into this, and it's kind of like what Fractal has going right now, if you look at all the pieces over there, if you can get yourself into a rhythm where you can just automatically chuck all the squares to the left, you shorten that board a little bit, and then you also just kind of know, I've always got a place for that square. You can turn a 10-wide board into an 8-wide board. And that feels pretty good, especially when, you know, left and right and high placements are at a premium. All right, Dillan with a covered. Well, he'll uncover. Oh, and that's a great piece for his stack. Pretty much perfect piece. And he's going to avoid taking the burns here twice with that J piece. He could have taken a double, but he's trying to earn some pace back. Oh, and he flings that Z piece to the left, right, where you have to kind of flick it with like a pole vault, basically. You kind of do that waggle to get it over there, and he did it. So yeah, Dillan trying to get back some of this pace by, you know, not taking doubles. Makes sense. You're up against a tough player who just PB'd, and one of the few people with a 500K in this mode. Fractal just PB'd, like, as he was warming up for this bracket today. He got his first 500,000. Raybert says, I PB'd in my pants. That's a good one. Yeah, you did a good one there. 144 for Dillan, 182 for Fractal. Fractal with a gap over there at column 2. That's gonna, yeah, he's really gonna wanna, he wanted a long bar there because it was just tough for him to have a burn. And yeah, he's gonna get a long bar. That's gonna bring it down. 198 for Fractal. 144 for Dillan. And there's the Tetris Dillan, 156. So Dillan, 8 lines away. Fractal, 2 lines away. That level 10 speed increase. And now it's a little faster for Fractal. 203 entry. Dillan looking to get that one last Tetris before level 10. And Tetris for Dillan. So he transitions in at 181. And that's really, under 2 Tetris's difference at transition for Dillan, which is not bad considering how he started. So, him trying to preserve a little bit of pace in this one, maybe it's paid off a bit. So he's closed the gap, and Fractal in trouble. So now Fractal is totally guessing, gambling, and we'll see if he can eke out any more points, and no, he cannot. So that is a top out for Fractal at 205. The target for Dillan, he doesn't know it, is 206 right now. So 206, if he doesn't know it, we'll see when he learns, because he is just 10,000 points away. A nice long bar for him. Another good bar for him. And Dillan uncovers the right side. A long bar will win it for him and seal his top 4 spot if he can get it. And he's getting droughted a little bit, so he's going to have to... He's waiting. And he does not need to get it all at once, but... And there is a triple, and that will do it. So Dillan is your winner. He has swept Fractal and will be moving on to the semifinals. So GG's Fractal and GG's Dillan. Dillan, hold on. Let me move your camera around so we can get a proper celebration for you. And there you are. Dillan is a bracket winner. That's not even the right color. We got to get you the right color. Hold on. What color are you in? You are in the red bracket. So let's get you the right color. Ready? There it is. Red. There it is. Dark Dillan, right? With that red like a Sith Lord. So there he is. Dillan is your bracket winner and will be moving on to the top 4. Congratulations, Dillan, and GG's Fractal. You did amazing. Congrats on your PB. Obviously, this isn't quite the way you wanted it to go, but you did amazing, and I'm glad if you enjoyed this mode and the tournament. And now you can turn your full attention to your DAS, DAS PAL color grind. So amazing. Let me go ahead and report this so we can take a look at our updated bracket. That was a sweep for Dillan. And I don't know if any of you is going to continue streaming. You're probably dead tired. But so my reward is to play no next box more, says Dillan. Great. Sorry about that, buddy. Sorry. All right, let me refresh this and we'll show you. We've got 2 semifinalists. Yes, Dog is in. Dillan is in. So 2 semifinalists now have been determined in this one. What do we got left to do? So that red and pink, that's resolved. That orange and yellow, that's resolved. We can schedule this at some point. I think this is scheduled, right? The green and teal is scheduled. That's going to be Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. So we got sort of a morning or lunchtime, brunch time, I guess, one here in the States, and 15:30 UTC. So some parts of Europe it's good for. It's really good for nobody viewing wise, but it's good for these players playing wise. So that's what matters. So yeah, Pixel Andy, Ghost, Jerpy, Cobra, that is going to be on Tuesday. We've got a purple preliminary bracket still to do. It's going to be the last one. That's going to be Chroma, Draco Rorschach. That's going to be on Monday at 10 a.m. Another brunch time Stupid Tetris Monthly special. So those are the upcoming brackets. Nothing tomorrow, as far as I know. Kind of hoping not. I've got a lot of stuff to do for CTM and for VTM. Vandy's tasks monthly. Anyway, thanks to everybody who hung out. Really appreciate those of you who supported the channel. And we will thank you right now in this beautiful slide. Octetris, thanks for the Twitch sub. Raids from GB Toast and the Cresp TV. Thank you for the raids. Appreciate that. We did not get... Oh, no, we did have one additional contribution to the prize pool today. That was Strog. Can I say Strog? Or Strog's YouTube? Is that what it is? Strog? That was $32.33. That takes us up to $10.82.33. So thank you, Strog. Appreciate that one. And thanks to our patrons, as always. Everybody on this screen is helping to keep this channel alive for themselves and as an epiphenomenon or an externality for the rest of you. So thank you to everybody on this screen who is helping to keep this channel going. Scott Gray, J in the window, K9 Tacky, Corporal, Shelby, Troy Dan, Kim M, Rogue Potato, Cat Kit, Mila, and Jason, as well as the rest of everybody listed on this slide. Thank you again for supporting Classic Tetris Monthly. And if you're watching this, you can do that at patreon.com/monthly Tetris. Okay, so I think we've done everything we need to do. We will see you on Monday. Black Ops says, didn't expect a sweep here. Yeah, neither did I. So thank you, YouTube. We will see you in a bit. So I guess Monday, whatever that is, 36 hours. Should I do a 36-hour fast until then? I'll think about it. All right, goodbye, everybody. See you Monday on YouTube. Bye-bye. And Twitch viewers like you, yes. Brought to you by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Oh, wait, not anymore. I should raid Rhubarb. I will raid Rhubarb, but not before I ask you one thing. Hey everybody, it's your old pal Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly, and I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. And follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day. All right, we're going to raid Vicious Rhubarb. Rhubarb is doing a fundraiser for Minnesota, but wait, doesn't Rhubarb live in Minnesota? Like, what funds? Is it to actually put the event on, or for him to go to the event? Because doesn't he live like right near the event? Anyway, all right, we're going to raid Vicious Rhubarb. I'm sure it's for a responsible use. We're raising money for the prize pool too. All right, gotcha. All right, thanks, Meme. Meme, you and I are the biggest rivals, right? Grr, arg. All right, bye, Meme, and everybody else. Say hello to Vicious Rhubarb. Goodbye, and